Ever feel bloated even when you're eating healthy? You're not alone. You cut the fizzy drinks, you ditched the junk food, maybe you even swapped bread for salad. But that tight, swollen feeling in your gut, still there. Here's the twist. It might not be what you're eating, but how your body is reacting. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 hidden causes of bloating that most people, and even some doctors, completely overlook. And one of them? It's in your mouthwash. Seriously, we're talking sugar alcohols that sneak into your healthy snacks, your stress hormones literally switching off digestion, and even how chewing too quickly can send your gut into meltdown. And stay with me, because in the second half of this video, I'll give you a simple action plan to beat the bloat starting today, without pills, detox teas, or trendy supplements. If you've been blaming gluten, carbs, or your dinner portions, you might be missing the real culprit. So if you're tired of feeling heavy, sluggish, and uncomfortable, hit that like button, and let's get to the root of it. Here are the 5 hidden causes of bloating, and the first one might be hiding in your sugar-free chewing gum. Let's start with something sneaky: sugar-free foods. Sounds like a healthy choice, right? But if you're chewing sugar-free gum, sipping zero-calorie drinks, or snacking on protein bars labeled low-carb, you might be flooding your gut with sugar alcohols and not even know it. Names like sorbitol, xylitol, erythritol, maltitol, you've probably seen them in ingredient lists but never thought twice. These compounds are designed to taste sweet without spiking your blood sugar, which is great for weight control, but terrible for your digestion. Here's why. Your small intestine can't fully absorb them, so they pass into your colon where your gut bacteria throw a party, fermenting them like a microbrewery. The result? Gas, pressure, bloating, and often cramping. Even worse, these sweeteners often show up in foods marketed as healthy. Things like keto-friendly protein bars, sugar-free chocolate, cough syrups, mints and chewing gum, and even certain oral hygiene products like mouthwash or toothpaste. And for some people, it only takes a small amount to feel the effects, especially with sorbitol and maltitol, which are known for their laxative side effects. So, if you've ever wondered why you feel bloated after what seemed like a clean eating day, check the labels. That sugar-free snack might be bloating you more than a slice of pizza. And a pro tip: try cutting out all sugar alcohols for a week and see what happens. Many people notice a dramatic reduction in bloating even without changing anything else in their diet. Up next, we're heading inside your body. Literally. Because the second hidden cause of bloating has nothing to do with what you eat, and everything to do with what's missing in your gut. Let's talk about your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living inside your digestive tract. These microscopic organisms play a massive role in digestion, immunity, and even mood. But when they're out of balance, something called gut dysbiosis, it can trigger bloating like clockwork. Here's how it works. In a healthy gut, good bacteria help break down food and keep bad bacteria in check. But things like antibiotics, processed food, alcohol, chronic stress, and even poor sleep can throw this ecosystem out of balance. When that happens, harmful bacteria and yeasts can take over. And they love to ferment undigested food. The result? Gas, bloating, and unpredictable digestion. But that's only part of the story. Here's the real curveball: low stomach acid. Most people think heartburn or indigestion means they have too much stomach acid. But in many cases, it's actually the opposite. Without enough acid, your stomach can't properly break down proteins or kill off harmful microbes. This leaves food sitting in your gut longer than it should, fermenting, rotting, and you guessed it, causing bloating. And here's a kicker. Low stomach acid and gut dysbiosis often go hand in hand. One leads to the other, creating a vicious cycle of poor digestion and chronic discomfort. So how do you know if this is your issue? Symptoms might include feeling bloated even after small meals. You burp a lot or feel food sitting in your stomach. You get gassy a few hours after eating, or you have taken antibiotics recently or eat a low-fiber diet. And do you feel better after apple cider vinegar or lemon water? To try to help, think about incorporating fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi, taking a high-quality probiotic, managing stress, more on that next, and possibly testing or supporting your stomach acid under medical guidance. Coming up next, let's explore the silent saboteur of your digestive health: chronic stress. It's not just in your head, it's in your gut, too. We often think of bloating as a food issue, but sometimes it's a mind issue, more specifically, a gut-brain axis issue. Here's the truth. Your gut and brain are in constant conversation through a two-way communication highway called the vagus nerve. When you're relaxed, your nervous system switches into rest and digest mode, optimizing digestion, enzyme release, and gut motility. But when you're stressed, mentally, emotionally, even physically, your body flips the switch into fight or flight. What does that mean for your digestion? It shuts down, literally. Stress reduces stomach acid, slows peristalsis, which is just how food moves through your intestines, and triggers inflammation. It's honestly like hitting the pause button on your entire digestive system. That food you just ate, it's not being broken down properly. It's sitting there, fermenting, leading to, you guessed it, bloating, gas, and discomfort. And it doesn't have to be major trauma. Micro-stressors add up. Things like rushing through meals, eating at your desk, constant emails and notifications, arguing in traffic, even doom-scrolling TikTok before dinner. You might not even feel stressed, but your body does. Here's the kicker. Studies show people with high stress levels often report more severe IBS symptoms, including bloating. And those symptoms can feed back into anxiety, creating a loop that's honestly hard to break. So what can you do? Breathe before you eat. Just 60 seconds of deep belly breathing stimulates your vagus nerve. Chew slowly. Digestion starts in the mouth, and stress makes us eat faster. Go for a walk after meals. It helps relieve gas, ease digestion, and lower cortisol. Create mealtime rituals. No screens, soft music, maybe even dim lighting. Bloating isn't always about food. Sometimes it's about the state you're in when you eat. In the next section, we'll explore the sneaky habits you don't think twice about, like when you eat or how fast you chew. That might be making things worse. Sometimes it's not what you eat, but how and when you eat that's quietly sabotaging your gut. Let's start with speed. In our rush culture, we treat meals like pit stops, devouring sandwiches between meetings, shoveling down dinner in front of the TV, or eating breakfast while scrolling through emails. But here's the problem. Chewing is the first stage of digestion, and skipping it puts stress on the rest of your system. The less you chew, the more your stomach has to compensate. And that often means food sits longer, breaks down less efficiently, and ends up fermenting in your gut, which equals bloating, gas, and sometimes even reflux. Next, timing. Eating too late at night can leave you bloated the next morning, not because of what you ate, but because digestion slows dramatically in the evening. Your body's natural circadian rhythm favors digestion during daylight hours. Eating a heavy meal close to bedtime means your food might be sitting undigested as you sleep. And then there's air swallowing. Yep, that's a thing. When you eat quickly, talk while eating, drink through straws, chug carbonated drinks, or chew gum constantly. You swallow extra air, which builds up in your gut. The technical term is aerophagia, and it's a surprisingly common contributor to bloating, especially when paired with fizzy drinks or overeating. So what can you do? Try the 20-chew rule. Aim to chew each bite 15 to 20 times. You'll be shocked at how much better your stomach feels. Avoid eating late. Ideally, stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. Skip the straws and chewing gum, and give yourself at least 20 minutes to eat, distraction-free. Think of digestion as a chain reaction. Rushing one link can disrupt the whole system. Next up, one of the biggest bloating triggers hiding in your healthy diet. Think apples, garlic, lentils. Yup, we're talking FODMAPs. Now here's the twist that trips up a lot of people. You're eating healthy, clean, whole foods, and yet you're still bloated. Why? The answer could be FODMAPs. FODMAPs are a group of short-chain carbohydrates that are poorly absorbed in the small intestine. The name stands for fermentable, oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. So, what does that mean in real life? Well, it means some of the healthiest foods, especially fruits, vegetables, legumes, and grains, can ferment in your gut and cause serious bloating, gas, and discomfort in sensitive individuals. Here are some common high FODMAP foods that might be behind your symptoms. Garlic and onions, especially when raw. Apples, pears, and watermelon. Lentils and chickpeas. Cauliflower, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. Wheat and rye. And dairy products like milk and yogurt, especially for those sensitive to lactose. These foods contain sugars and fibers that feed your gut bacteria, and when they aren't properly absorbed, they get fermented. This creates gas, draws in water, and stretches the gut. The result? That puffy, gassy, sometimes painful bloating you just can't seem to shake. But here's the good news. Not everyone is sensitive to all FODMAPs. And for many people, it's not about eliminating them forever. It's about identifying which ones cause issues and reducing or rotating them. This is where the low FODMAP diet comes in. It's a short-term elimination and reintroduction protocol that helps pinpoint your personal triggers. It's especially effective for people with IBS or chronic bloating, and it's backed by solid research from institutions like Monash University. If you think you might be sensitive to FODMAPs, think of doing the following. Try swapping onions for onion-infused oil, so you get the flavor without the FODMAP. Choose bananas or berries over apples if fruit seems to trigger bloating. Soak legumes before cooking to reduce their FODMAP content. You might also want to consider working with a nutritionist if symptoms persist. So the next time someone says just eat more fiber, remember it's not always that simple. Let's wrap things up with a quick recap and a simple plan to help you beat the bloat starting today. So let's quickly recap the 5 hidden causes of bloating that most people never think about. First, artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols, which are found in protein bars, gum, and sugar-free foods. They ferment in the gut and can cause gas and cramping. Next, gut dysbiosis and low stomach acid, an imbalance in gut bacteria and insufficient acid levels that impair digestion and fuel bloating. Third up, chronic stress and the gut-brain axis. Your nervous system affects your gut directly, and stress can literally shut off digestion. Next, poor food timing and rushed eating habits like chewing too fast, eating late at night, and swallowing air can quietly build up gas and discomfort. And finally, FODMAP overload from healthy foods. Apples, onions, lentils, and more may be nutritious but problematic for sensitive guts. If you've been struggling with bloating and can't figure out why, you're not broken. You're probably just reacting to one or a combination of these overlooked triggers. Here's a quick action plan to help you take control starting today. First, audit your labels. Look for sorbitol, xylitol, erythritol, and eliminate them for 1 week. Then, try a probiotic or fermented food. Start small, maybe 1 spoon of sauerkraut or a few sips of kefir each day. Breathe before you eat. 5 slow breaths can calm your nervous system and prep your gut. Chew mindfully. 20 chews per bite sounds like a lot, but it makes a huge difference. Finally, track your FODMAPs. Keep a simple food and symptom journal and patterns will start to emerge. And if bloating persists despite all of this, consider getting professional support. Sometimes it's worth running deeper tests or exploring your gut health with an expert. Which of these causes surprised you the most? Comment below. I read everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Your gut will thank you.